moment out for myself there. So let's do this. We're going to jump in. We're kind of skyrocketing through the games today. Hopefully it slows down a little bit. This is going to be our third game of the SGL. Obviously, that means we're halfway through the group after this. And so far, Ryung and Jim have both won one series. So they are both 1-0. Both of them have not dropped a map, so it's 1-0, 2-0. That said, Creator is yet to play as well. So Creator will play the last 3 matches of the day. Obviously, the match that a lot of people will be watching out for will be Ryung versus Creator. That's set to happen in the very near future. That's set to happen in the next series up. So, again, it'll be Ryung versus Creator next. Creator will then play Jim, I believe, and then Creator plays Sleep to end the day. I believe that is the plan. So that's what's happening. Guys, let's introduce our players. The bottom left-hand side of the map, our blue Protoss is going to be from Victor's Gaming. It is Jim. Plays in a lot of these late fin cups and SGLs, and always fun to see him taking part, as we have to the top right side of the map our red Terran player that's here to be cheering on Ryung. Very Korean / Chinese heavy SGL this week. I think every single group has 3 Koreans and a Chinese player in it, so always nice to see. I mean, I like it actually. They change up the format of the SGL, not the format, but they change up like who they invite a lot. Sometimes we have a very foreigner heavy event, then we have like a very Korean heavy event. It's pretty cool. It's nice. So this week, just to kind of give you guys an idea of who's going to be playing, tomorrow we will have Gumiho, Lasira, Alive, and Yishi taking part in the event. And then in next week, we're going to have Group C, Innovation, Keen, and Classic alongside Cyan. And Group D is my personal group of Def, Hero, Solar, Dark, and Maxed. So that's going to be really, really fun to see what happens. So those are going to be our matches, our groups, and then the playoffs will take place 2 weeks today. So looking forward to that. Make sure you guys tune in. It'll be a lot of fun. As we're going to see this probe just moving around a little bit here. Early game, not much going on, just some early scouting from both players. As we see a couple of stalkers coming in from our Protoss. Actually going to be one base from our Protoss player for now. So Jim going to be very aggressive. And there's the proxy pylon coming in. Identifies his opponent on the top right side of the map. So sees that and immediately places down the pylon to the northern side. So he can get ready to pop down a Stargate or something along those lines. I mean, it could be a proxy robo to get super aggressive and push forwards. In fact, with this position, it could be absolutely anything, really, apart from like a Twilight Council wouldn't make a lot of sense. So, robo or a Stargate. I actually kind of feel like a robo, or just a single gateway. That also works. Didn't necessarily have to proxy tech. Just assumed that he would. So, may just go, I mean, I guess, yeah, gateway and just go for like a big 3 gateway in. Okay, there's the Stargate coming down as well. I mean, the Stargate just makes sense. At least, if nothing else, it will pull units out of position into the main base while he hits the natural expansion, right? And that just starts to stretch his opponent's kind of multitasking and stretches his opponent's army a little bit more thinly while he's being very aggressive. So Jim, super aggressive push to get going here in game 1 of this best of 3. Is it going to work for him as the Mothership Core and 2 Stalkers come up this ramp? Now Ryung, he did not scout himself, so he doesn't necessarily know where his opponent is or what his opponent's doing. As you see, one SCV and a few Marines all joining up together. Pylon already coming down the low ground. Pylon will get cancelled here or killed off. As we're going to be seeing those Marines will turn and fight it. Nice cancel at the last moment there. Jim will put the pylon on this low ground now to help him push on forwards. 2 pylons. I don't like it. Don't feel as though those pylons on the low ground give him too much to kind of really work with. As we see, cutting back now, we're going to see Stalkers fighting Marines. One Stalker very low but still alive. Will go down to its left in the front. Stalkers still fighting Marines, getting them very low. 4 workers now killed, and Ryung desperately trying to defend against this right now. As we're going to be seeing an overcharge going down. It will stop these units from continuing to push on forwards at points. We're going to be seeing more damage being done. Now, the first Oracle is on the way up from the Stargate with 8 workers killed, and these units all having to focus at the front. That Oracle has so much potential when it goes in towards the main base here. Stim on the way up as actually Ryung is just going to back away. He's just going to defend his main now. Well, that's actually a big victory for, a big loss actually for Jim in a way, because if Ryung's defending his main, this Oracle won't do as much. That said, obviously it does mean he is not doing as much in the game in other ways. You see plenty of Marines and Marauders. These Paladins I don't think have much of a chance. There goes the Time Warp, trying to help out over here. Again, units have moved down to it. Now actually caught in the Time Warp. Oracle comes in as well, and Ryung will lose a lot of Marines at the front. As we will see the bunker finishing up. He doesn't quite manage to make it through, but there's no SCVs nearby to repair. I mean, there's one, but that is it. As we'll see, the Oracle goes down just with the last 3 shots. 2 Marauders are pretty good at working their way through Stalkers. There's 3 more Stalkers who are warping at the front here. I mean, Marines and Marauders still being made, but still these Stalkers doing so much more. SCV's being pulled forwards once again. And then Marauders trying to come forwards and see what else he can do. That one Marauder does get taken down, though. Bunker trying to build behind this wall once more. As SCV is going to continue to be picked away at. Ryung desperately still trying to make a hold of this. Kiting in and out with these units getting shoved off and backing away. Picks off another Stalker here. That Marauder doing really important damage at this point. And still more damage being done. SCV's pulled forwards once again. More Marines starting to fall as the CC from the high ground goes into, or from the low ground comes back towards the main. Bunker's going to finish up behind this. He has more SCVs going down. And Ryung will be behind but won't be dead. But will he be able to defend the Oracle, actually? Because, I mean, his Marines going to the bunker at the front. I don't know if the Marines can actually defend against the Oracle going towards the main base mineral line. 15 workers killed. Not many workers left over. Here we go. Follow the Oracle, I think, because that's going to be the main point of action. In the next few moments, Marines will have to come out of that bunker. If they do, though, they just get shut down so quickly. Going to start targeting down mules. Obviously, that's a pretty big deal. Again, using Zealots to tank while he targets down SCVs at the front. Jim's done it. He's going to break through Ryung's, through Ryung here. I mean, eventually he just kills enough workers that there's no more units being made. Niki is producing and eventually just trades this out. Ryung's running out of minerals, can't even repair the bunker anymore. He literally has no money left. Oracle is... Did Oracle die? He lost the Oracle again. A bit of a mistake. I mean, these Oracles keep on going down. That really is painful to see Marauder getting targeted as well. I mean, there's just not enough Marines to fight this many Stalkers. 4 SCVs to 22 probes, 11 army to 12. Army supply is still decent with a bunker as well. It's okay, it's just the problem that you can't ever build anything else behind this. And Jim looking as though he's going to take game number 1 off of Ryung. And if Jim was to beat Ryung here, this would really spice up the group, especially considering that Creator is still yet to play as well. So this could really change things up. Really do a lot, as we're going to be seeing as Depot goes down. Now gets access in towards the base where he'll be able to kill off that bunker. I mean, another Oracle being made as well. It's just more and more stuff which is just going to go wrong for the Terran player. It's just less... he just doesn't have a way to really fight this. Stalkers move the ramp actually a little bit overzealous. Maybe Stim comes down as well. Ryung will commit to fighting this. I mean, he sort of has to. He doesn't have much choice. He will defend against these units, but again, he's... I mean, I guess he's on double CC or double... with double mule, but as the Oracle comes in, he'll lose another one of his mules, which is still got half his life on it. I mean, that's a lot of minerals he'll miss out on that he really, really needs. He can't mine at all. He just doesn't have enough Marines to actually fight against this Oracle just yet. So it's again going to be very costly for him as we see him getting rid of the shields right now. And I guess we can just see SCVs and the mule go back towards the mineral start mine once again. Marauder in the bunker will hold on. I mean, Ryung will survive. That's something. I mean, I don't really know, like... I mean, he's still just hanging on here. I mean, back at home, there's a natural expansion now for Jim. He can begin to saturate that. I mean, he's still really far ahead. It's just the struggle to actually end the game is somewhat amusing, I guess. Like, just unable to kind of break this bunker, unable to actually kill all of the SCVs. Just watching Ryung trying to slowly rebuild at this point is somewhat entertaining as we see a Zealot and a Stalker being warped in at the front. Obviously, slow warp-ins over here. The gateway is so far away that it is much more worthwhile to warp in slowly at the front than warp in quickly and then walk over here as we see Zealots going up the ramp again. 2 Oracles will come forward. They'll hunt down those Marines over to the side. They'll get rid of this bunker now as well, and that should be game. GG from Ryung, and Jim will take game number 1. The aggressive play will put him into the lead here in this series. 1-0 advantage for Jim, and Ryung, $1 to the prize pool. Simple, easy to do, and just so much to benefit from for it. Now, as we jump into game number 2, let's do this. To the top right-hand side, our Red Protoss player is going to be Jim. Up 1 game, let's see what else he's going to be able to get up to. He has to the bottom left, our Blue Terran player is Ryung. Bouncing back, or trying to bounce back in the series. Would like to tie this up 1-1. Really is a big moment for him. I mean, if he can win this, he will take a... he'll keep his hopes alive, I guess, really, is kind of what we can say. He can keep his hopes alive, so that's what he's going to be aiming for as we set on up. Into game number 1. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Jim, because, I mean, if you guys are saying it in the chat, Jim was a little bit messy in that game, but I don't think you can take too much. I mean, he lost a few Oracles, yes, but he also used those Oracles to great effect. Like, I mean, yeah, it's not great to lose them, But I think it's because he sort of decided, like, at certain points, I feel I can bust this right now if I commit my Oracle in. And yeah, I mean, it didn't work out every time, but that's not to be... yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as you guys are making it out to be. Let me put it that way. So, Natural CC comes down. Ryung going to be expanding early. This time, Jim will also expand early in the game, so just going to be setting on up. No real surprise there, I guess. I mean, after you go something crazy in game 1, you could always go something crazy in game 2, but your opponent just expected so much, just expects it maybe a little bit more, and that's where things really become a bit of an issue. And how are we all doing in the chat? Do let me know if you're around, guys. Do come say hello. Even if you are watching full screen, pop into the chat, say hi, let me know what's up. Let me know if you're having a good day, if you're enjoying the games. Always great to hear from you guys. Always love to see if you've got anything interesting to say as well. Well, it's also great to be back doing the SGL. Obviously, we've been doing this event for a long time. This year, this is our 6th event of it. We didn't actually do the first 2, but we've been doing this for a lot of the past few months. So great to be back with the SGL, bringing you guys the action here. I'm very happy to be able to bring you guys these games as we do see this. But just going to go back home. And again, SGL action is every Thursday and Friday on a 3-week rotation, where the third week there isn't a Friday cast, but Groups A and B in week 1, Group C and D in week 2, and the playoffs in week 3, every Thursday and Friday from 2 p.m. CET. So again, make sure you don't miss tomorrow's cast, and make sure you don't miss the games next week either. Definitely worth checking out. Great tournament. This and the Leifeng Cup, I mean, we've really been kind of powering through the Leifeng Cups and the SGLs. They're great events, and they've been bringing us a lot of content, so I love them both, but I do kind of have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for the SGL, just because I feel as though it's really interesting. I feel as though we get some really cool matches in SGL. I feel as though a lot of the groups are much more interesting than, say, maybe a lot of the Leifeng Cup groups. So even though there's less prize money on the line, I do have to say I kind of really do love the SGL a little bit more. Anyways, I mean, that doesn't really matter what I love more, as we do have a Reaper. Just going to take this watchtower on the right-hand side here to begin with. We're going to see a medevac starting to move over to the right-hand side of the map as well. So Ryung just going to get over here, look to try and get some damage done, and yeah, just look to see what he can get up to as we see this medevac flying on over. So medevac going to fly over to the right side of the map, and yeah, just going to jump in towards the natural expansion in the next couple of moments, see what he can get up to. So wouldn't mind drop to begin with for some Marines inside as well. Very standard stuff. Another medevac on the way up, so we'll continue the pressure as Jim does actually respond fairly... Oh, actually, it's kind of interesting. The probes kept going out of range, so I thought there was going to be more damage done than that. Only one worker killed by the Widow Mine, one more by the Marines. As our next drop, we'll have 2 Widow Mines and 4 Marines. That one's going to head towards the main base. Ryung already actually unloading in the main base with this first medevac. Must pull away, though, there straight away. So pulls that one back nice and quickly. His mothership core is coming in, is starting to work its way down through this Widow Mine. So Widow Mine will fall here as this next medevac goes in towards the main. And Jim, will he respond? His response was very slow before, and the answer is no. He will not respond. He stacks up the probes as well. 10 workers killed. Marines will drop down and pick off a few more workers too. Also back into the natural expansion. Jim is falling apart already in game number 2. 2 very simple drops from Ryung is just going to do damage, which will put him into a position where the game is almost just over. 19 workers lost at this stage. You just can't really recover from that in a realistic manner. Like, you need to start doing damage of yourself. You have to really outplay your opponent from this position to make a comeback. And I don't know if Ryung's going to allow himself to be outplayed like that. But I guess let's find out. This first medevac's going to make it back home. The other medevac will chill out in the dead airspace to the top right side. I mean, it can come in again in the very near future and do even a little bit more damage just to keep on being a nuisance. I was going to see this War Prism. I'm going to head over. And, well, I guess just a big counterattack from Jim coming in because, I mean, at this point, what else has he really got to play for? I mean, he could try and tech up and so on, but I feel as though if he just doesn't counterattack and do something, he'll be in a lot of trouble. I mean, yeah, Ryung lost a few units, so he's definitely got a good chance in counterattacking. I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's going to work necessarily. I mean, actually, there's not that many units here for Ryung, right? So it's not that bad an idea at all. SCVs will start to repair this bunker. They definitely do if more of these units coming in. Blink has finished up, actually. I didn't realize that before. So Blink has finished up. That means these stalkers can blink on in. So Ryung going to have to pull SCVs into this as some more stalkers blinking over that wall. And SCVs will pull forwards as the Marauder doing a lot of damage. Another couple of Marauders still in here as well. One in the very far back. He's going to blink on top of that as these medevacs will boost away, get to the proper side. The Marines are going to lift up, make sure he tries to stay alive. Soldiers will start to blink down to the low ground now, but I think the reality is that he just hasn't done enough damage. I mean, in the end, he kills, what, 4 workers? Yeah, it wasn't quite enough. Still, these Marines on the other side of the map actually going to kill the Nexus. Wow, Ryung sees that as well. He's like, as soon as he goes back over there to defend this blink attack, he's like, oh, your Nexus is about to die. Alright, well, Ryung knows he can just sort of afford to pull workers in again then. He knows he can lose workers, because at this point, the game is over as long as he doesn't just straight up kind of have to leave the game right now because he can't get rid of the units in his base. So this is very good for Ryung as he just continues to kind of trade here. The War Prison Micro is cute, but it's just not going to be enough. GG. Jim taps out, and Ryung takes game 2 to tie the series up. 1 game. Jump back in. Now you just take a moment to swap the gym names around. Perfect, perfect. Alright guys, let's do this. The top right hand side will be starting with our Red Protoss player. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Jim to take this series and to really put a spanner in the works in Group A here. As we have to the top left hand side, our blue Terran player is going to be Ryung. Gas first here on Habitation Station. Ho ho, I'm excited. It's been a long time since I cast a game on Habitation Station. Gold base over here has always been an interesting feature of this map. Probably one of my favorite gold bases in StarCraft 2 because it really feels like a base which is takeable, which is you can achieve it, it's obtainable, that's the word I want. It's obtainable, but punishable because of the low ground and this position here, and it is sort of in the middle of the map, but not completely. So I really do like it. It's like good to defend, but also bad to defend. It's like what a gold base should be. It's a risk to take. I like it. It's good. It's good stuff. So, one of my favorite gold bases in StarCraft 2. I gotta think of actually another gold base I like quite as much as this one. Maybe Varney. Varney's gold bases are pretty dull though. Like, they're pretty boring. They don't really do a lot. So, not really Varney. Yeah. Crown Terraces, Kappa. That was the worst gold bases. They were stupid. That map actually would have been a pretty decent map if they didn't have gold bases. Like... If like the natural wasn't a gold, if there was just all blue minerals, that would have been such a good map for Terraces. It would have been really awesome. But nope, we had to have gold minerals for gimmicks. Rip the dream. Alright, factory is coming up over here for Ryung, so setting that up, that's going to be finishing very shortly. That's going to be seeing this SCV coming over to the right hand side, so that's going to be moving on in. We're going to see what's up next. This is about 75% of the way done. Jim once again expanding early, not going to decide to just go for all-out aggression. So, I mean, he could go for all-out aggression, but not going to in the end here. As you just see this SCV just going to sit away in the side from Ryung. Just going to sit in this little corner and just hide away. Just wait to see what happens next. Stargate will come down as well. Stargate comes on in and again, just setting up into this. Stargate's a little bit of a different way for Jim to open, of course. That's not quite what we've seen from him just yet in the previous games. So a little bit of a difference here. Intrigued to see how it develops for him. Obviously we saw Stargate in game 1, but we haven't seen like a macro Stargate from him, so that's a very different way of approaching things. This Adept in the middle of the map, just going to fight against a couple of Marines, nothing really too substantial. Command Center will be finishing up shortly for Ryung. As we do just see this medevac just on the way up, still about halfway done. So medevac going to be about halfway done as another Marine just coming out. The Widow Mine is on the way as well, about halfway done here in a moment or two. And another Adept just joining up on the top side watchtower. So 2 Adepts just joining up here together. And Oracle's going to be about halfway done very soon as well. A couple of gates will come down. It's going to be what, like 3 gates total? Stargate of an Oracle. Super standard play. Generally for Stargate, you try and take a nice fast third base because you're going to have a lot of map control. You have units to kind of keep your opponent pinned back at home. So maybe a fast third Nexus coming in here from Jim in the very near future. Alternatively, he may just look to be super aggressive with this. He has got 3 Adepts, so he might look to be a bit more aggressive than he might expect. As well, Widow Mine drop will come in towards the main base, and no pylons in the correct positions here really to defend this. Marines will start kind of forcing the protocol away. 6 workers killed already. Widow Mine gets a good connection as well. He's going to start targeting down this pylon. Actually going to unpower the Stargate if he keeps up like this. 3 Adepts going to find those initial SCVs. Stargate gets some power, but only for a second. The next pylon going to start being targeted as well. Mothership Core's only just now finishing. I mean, he can't overcharge that pylon, right? Like, I mean, he can, but then he doesn't do anything. He just dies. Adepts over here going to get hit by a Widow Mine as well. Where's the Oracle? Still not doing anything. Jim needs to do more with this. Like, he really needs to do more with this right now. Widow Mine goes off again. 10 workers now killed. That's going to be additional to the 6 that he has killed before. So that's like, 18 workers he's now killed in total. That said, the Oracle's finally coming into play, but the Widow Mine gets the connection. So it's 19 workers to 9 lost in the early stages here. 2 Marines pop out. They just have to find a way to deal with these Adepts, but the Widow Mine will actually help with that. It's going to come in again. Here's this probe. Or Marine, sorry, drops down to the low ground. Widow Mine just pick up another kill. So that's its 2nd kill of the game. And Jim's just going to type out GG right there. Feels as though he's taken too much damage. Hasn't done enough himself. Has lost his Oracles, which is his way of continuing to do